my name is Nicole Stafford, and I'm the director here at the Environmental Learning Center.
Hi, I'm Sully. I'm an educator here at the Environmental Learning Center.
And today we are going to take you to the Poudre River, and we are going to talk to you about one of our favorite animals, the beaver. Welcome to the Cache La Poudre River here at the Environmental Learning Center. We are right along the river in what is called the riparian area. So that is the land that surrounds the river. And this is great habitat for one of our favorite animals, the beaver. So today we're going to talk a little bit about beavers, and we're going to talk about beaver adaptations. And adaptations are structures and behaviors that animals have that help them survive in their habitat. So we need to figure out what structures and behaviors this beaver has that helps it survive in a riparian habitat. So, do I have any volunteers to be my beaver for the day? Oh, thank you, Sully. Come here. Wow, Sully, thanks so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're going to be a beaver today.
Very cool.
So we're going to talk again about adaptations, so those special things that animals have and are able to do that help it survive in their environment. The one cool thing, or the one thing to note about adaptations, is they have to be inheritable to be considered an adaptation. So they have to be passed down from generation to generation. So that's what we're going to talk about. So the first thing that I notice on beavers all the time is its tail. That's the first thing that a lot of people notice about beavers. So we're going to give our beaver, Sully, a sweet tail.
Beaver tail.
Awesome. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, Sully, for me is you're going to strap this tail on. Okay, and while he's doing that, I'm going to describe the adaptations of a beaver's tail. So you'll note that a beaver's tail is nice and flat, and that actually acts as a rudder in the water, so it helps them steer as they're swimming, right? Because they spend part of their lives in the water. The tail also acts as a communication device. So beavers will use that tail, they'll smack the top of the water when they want to warn their family members that danger is nearby. Okay, so they'll smack the water and then they'll dive down, and their family members will know that they need to dive down as well. And another really cool thing about a beaver's tail is in the fall, it actually acts as storage for some fat. Okay, so it helps the beaver in that way. And then in the spring, it actually helps the beaver release heat also. Okay, the other cool thing about a beaver that I usually notice first is the beaver's fur. And the beaver's fur is cool in a number of different ways. So let's give our beaver some fur. And they are covered in fur. So here our beaver is going to, yes, thank you very much. Looking good.
Thanks. I was getting cool.
Good. Oh, awesome. So now you are, yes, nice and warm and ready for the water. So I actually happen to have a beaver pelt right here. And beavers have two types of fur. They have a thick undercoat, and that's more brown. And it's really, really thick, and that keeps the beaver warm because they are semi-aquatic and they are active year-round. They need to stay warm in that cold river water we have here in Colorado, and also in the winter months. And then over that, they have what we call guard hairs. And they cover these guard hairs in oil that they produce, and that helps keep them waterproof. So two different types of fur on our beaver. Thank you so much. Okay, our beaver's still missing some adaptations. Let's talk about our beaver's feet. What are so special about beaver feet? Sully, do you know?
They are webbed.
They're webbed. Excellent. So let's give our beaver some webbed feet, because right now Sully's feet are not quite webbed.
Funky feet.
Okay. So let's give Sully webbed feet. Good job. Thank you very much. So we have substituted webbed feet for flippers. What do flippers help you do?
Swim.
Swim! Excellent. So the webbed feet of a beaver help it swim in the water. What about the front, the hands of a beaver?
I bet they have claws. They can get out of the water.
Exactly, they have claws. So the items to eat, maybe helps them get out of the water, things like that. Good job. Okay, a couple more adaptations to give our beaver. I think we're gonna go with, oh gosh, another big one is teeth, beaver teeth. You have them right there.
I was ready.
Let's give our beaver teeth. Beaver are known for their big, we call them buck teeth, right? And another thing you'll note about Sully's teeth here are that they are not white, right? So there are a few special adaptations going on with beaver teeth. One is that they are very large, and beaver use their teeth to cut down wood, and they use that wood to build dams, to build their lodges, and they also use it to cut down what they're going to eat. And they're yellow because they have a really strong enamel on them, and that enamel is actually filled with iron, so it makes them very, very strong. And the iron in that creates kind of more of an orange, an orangey yellow. So I'm going to show you an example of a real beaver's tooth. So this is actually a skull that we found out here at the ELC. I don't know if you can see that. Let's come in closer. You can see the teeth are broken off, but they are that orange color. That's the real color. Here's actually a tooth that came out of that skull. You can see that iron in that enamel. Another interesting fact about beaver teeth is that they never stop growing. So they have to gnaw on wood. They have to be able to gnaw on wood and healthy enough to do so. Thank you. Otherwise their teeth would just keep growing. So, and a lot of rodents are like that. Okie dokes. I think the last adaptation we're gonna talk, oh, nope, there's two more. Okay, so let's talk about ears really quickly.
Whoa.
Yeah, ears. Can't see your ears right now, but beaver do have small ears on the top of their head. Yep, thank you. And the cool thing about the beaver's ears is they have special muscles that allow them to close down really close to the head when they go underwater so they don't get water in their ears. So we're gonna give our beaver some special ears. There you go. Thank you. Awesome. Perfect. We want to keep water out of our ear, right? If anybody's ever gotten an ear infection from being in the water too much, get water in that inner ear, and that's not a good thing. So those muscles help the beaver prevent that. Okay, and then beaver also have special eyes. So they have a special membrane in their eye called a nictitating membrane. So kind of like a third eyelid, and it's clear, and it's kind of like goggles. So let's give our beaver some goggles. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so this membrane allows the beaver to see underwater and allows it to protect its eye from debris while it's underwater. Yay! So now we have a complete beaver with many of its adaptations. These were all structural adaptations that we talked about, aside maybe from the tail slap, right? That's a behavioral adaptation that is passed down within beaver families. And some other, I think, behavioral adaptations that maybe we could talk about. One is that beaver are active at night or at dawn and dusk. So they're considered crepuscular or nocturnal. And so they are active when it might be safer to do so, to go out and eat and forage and that kind of thing and build their dams and lodges. And another is that they live in family units. That's another behavioral adaptation, so that they are able to build those dams and those lodges efficiently as well. So thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to our beaver. Yes, thank you.
Bye guys, off to the dam.
And yes, that concludes our little lesson on adaptations of beavers. One of the easiest signs of beaver to spot is what we call beaver chew. And this is a tree that beavers were in the process of chewing down at one point in time. We actually had beavers out here at the ELC prior to the floods of 2013, and this is a remnant of their work out here. So I'd like to invite you to walk along maybe the Poudre Trail, maybe Spring Creek, and see if you can't find some signs of beaver.